Good afternoon and welcome to Daf Yomi Maseches Chagigah Daf Yud Beis number 12. A little bit of a late share this morning. I had my carpet in my room cleaned. I do it about once a year. The carpet gets filthy. Gotta clean it. Called up for an appointment last week. The guy said, "All right, next week we have an appointment for you." I said, "Maybe a little something closer to Pesach." Are you kidding me? After Purim, I've been booked for months. I learned my lesson. You want to clean before Pesach with carpet cleaners? Maybe only here in Israel you got to do it way before. I got to prepare in advance. All right, so let's start here on the bottom of Yud Aleph and Beis. We're not going to be doing Yom with Ben Sion. We're going to have a cessation of Yom with Ben Sion for a little bit until the Gemaras get back to normal. I got it's kind of hard to give Yom with Ben Sion. You probably don't want me to give Yom with Ben Sion on I got into topics and tell you all the secrets of the Torah. All right. Whereas a little Ma'aseh Bereshis B'Shnai, I mean, she's not supposed to darshan Ma'aseh Bereshis, the works of the creation, the secrets of the creation, in front of two students. Menanimi, how do you know this? The Tana Rabban Kishal Nali Yamim Arishonim. This is a pasuk, I believe in Zos HaBracha. When he'll ask for the earlier days, Yachid Shal, Ein Shnayim Shal, says Shal is the lashon of a Yachid, a one person. He could ask, two people can't ask. Yachal Yishal Adam Kodem Shnevra Olam. You might think one person could ask, but he could ask about what happened before the world was created. Talmud Lomar, Lemin Hayom Asher Bara Looking at Adam Al Aretz pasuk continues from the day that Hashem created man. Yachal Lo Yishal Adam Ma'aseh Bereshis. Mashiach Shmei Bereshis. You might think it says Liyom Asher Bara Adam. Adam was only created on the sixth day, so the previous 5 days you can't ask about. Talmud Lomar Yom Marishon Asher Hayu Lefanecha comes to include all of the Sheish Shmei Bereshis. You could ask Yachal Yishal Adam Malam Malam Malamata. You could ask what's in the heavens, what's below. Challenger Deep in the Pacific Ocean. Mal Difnim Mal Achor. What's considered to be before the world, considered after the world. Pasuk says from one end of the heavens until the other end of the heavens. You can't ask what's up, what's down, what's in front of the world, what's after the world. So the Gemara asks, top of Yud Beis Amud Aleph, Hashta the Nafkalim L'Mixei Hashemayim V'Aksei Hashemayim. Once we know that you're not supposed to ask questions about pertaining to before the world, after the world, what's above, what's below, we know that from this pasuk. Why do you need that pasuk? How do you know how big Adam Rishon was? He extended from the ground to the Rakia. The Rakia is either 100 kilometers from the ground, which is considered space by NASA and most of the world international data. Some people say 60 kilometers. I think this was actually machlokas between Virgin Galactic, Richard Branson. He only went 60 kilometers above what he called space, and Jeff Bezos, he went his Blue Origin. He went 100 kilometers. He was the second to go, the first to go really into real space that's considered by NASA and other leading world entities what actually is considered space. Al the Rakia, until the Rakia is a threshold between the earth and space. That you know how big he was from this pasuk. He created him Mixei Hashemayim. Once Adam Rishon sinned, Hashem made him smaller. He made him the size of a human being that is now. Shnamar Achar Vakenim Sarsani Vatesha like Apecha. You created me from the front and the back, man and a woman together. A person really is constituted of a man and a woman together. And you put your hand on me to lower me. Not only was he tall from heaven to the earth, but he also, when he would lie down, his head would reach to his feet. From his head to his feet would reach from one end of the world to the other on a latitude. Shenemar l'minayom asher bar Elokim Adam al aretz al mixei Hashemayim. Came and Shesarach. Again, this is really the same pasuk. Hashem made him smaller. The psukim seem to be contradicting. It says one pasuk says that Adam Rishon was before he got small. He became small. He was the height of the entire world, and then it says when he was laying down, he was the pasuk seems to indicate he was the length of the entire world. So the Gemara informs you, they're both the same shear. The shear, the length of the world, the latitude of the world, 360 degrees. The longitude of the world, 180 degrees, but if you include the back of the world, it'll also be 360 degrees. It's the same size. 10 things created the first day of creation, or the 10 things. Shamayim ba'aretz, the skies and the land. Tov vavohu. We'll define later what these things are. Or v'choshech, light and darkness. Ruach u'mayim, winds and water. Midas yom, midas laila. Concept of day and night. Shamayim ba'aretz, tichsiv, b'reish bar l'kim es shamayim. So I already see the pasuk says explicitly Hashem created shamayim ba'aretz. Tov vavohu, tichsiv. Arts says so vavod. The pasuk indicates the land was so vavod. Or v'choshech, or choshech l'siv, v'choshech al pnei tehom. Says it was dark originally. Or d'chsiv, yom l'kim, or originally in the first day Hashem created light. Ruach mayim d'chsiv, ruach l'kim rachaves al pnei mayim. The wind of Hashem was kind of blowing on the water. You see both where it existed. The first day Hashem made a night and he made a day. Tohu, what is Tohu? Kav Yarok, it's a green line, right? People in Israel are familiar with the green line. It was the line of armistice separating after the ceasefire in 1949, the War of Independence in Israel. There was a green line that was made to divide the Jewish land from Palestine. What?
67.
The green line? The green line was 1949. This is really said over here that the green line was 1967. All right, we're going to have to Google. What's your name?
Yeah.
What?
Yechiel.
Yechiel. When were you born, Yechiel?
What?
Matayata nolad.
90.
Huh?
1990.
He was born in 1990. Now, in 1990, here's Yechiel. 1990, say hi, Yechiel. Do you know what happened in the world in 1990? It was the war with the Persian, the Gulf War, no?
Yeah.
You don't know? You were born in the year, the Gulf War. The Gulf War, what?
91.
I think it was 1990. Anyway, Yechiel is telling me, you're going to have to check this up. Me, Yechiel, who is right? When did they come up with the green line? Was it 1949 or was it 1967? I say 1949. Yechiel says 1967. He was born in 1990 and got educated by the Israeli school system here. So we'll have to see who's right. We'll have to check it up after. If you know the answer, write it in the comments and tell me who won, me or Yechiel. And if Yechiel won, and he really did win, then Yechiel's going to have to come back on the share in the future. He's going to have to sit next to me. Right, Yechiel?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Yechiel. All right. Anyway, so the Torah was considered a green line. Shemakiv is kol ha'olam kulo. It surrounds the whole world. I guess it would be like the equator or something like that. Or the prime meridian, whichever would be. Shemenu yosi choshech. That darkness comes from it. It would have to be the equator, I guess. The equator surrounds the whole world, and it brings darkness. You know, if you go 90 degree 90 degree latitude, actually. 90 degree latitude would be the Arctic Circle, and it'd be Antarctica on the bottom. So there's a lot of choshech there. It's darker most of the day over there. All right. Places darkness around it. Something places darkness. Bohu elu avonim. We're going to see it referring to Torah. Bohu elu avonim and fulamos mishukos. But the home. These are rocks that are sunken in the sea, at the bottom of the sea. Bottom of Challenger deep. Shemhen yos and mayim. Water was created, so to speak, from these rocks. Shnemar v'nata alav kav tov avnei bo. As he said, Hashem extended a line of Tov. So you see toe is a line. Avnei bo, and the stones were called bohu. Or biyom rishon, Ivri, the Gemara asks, or was created, light was created on the first day. It says on the fourth day of creation that the moon and the stars and the sun were created, and those gave off light. The first day's light wasn't the real light where that we see. It's the light, the hidden light that Tzaddikim will see in the future. Originally, he wanted to give that light to people that he felt to see through things, see through walls, see the real essence of things in this world. Once Hashem saw, he realized there could be a Dara Mabul, there's going to be a Dara Flaga, they're going to commit terrible sins. He saw they were going to be sinning. Amad V'Gonzo Kadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem hid that light away. Mehen Shenemar Vayimnam Rishayim Oram, Hashem removed light from the Rishayim. Let me go on. So who did he keep this light for? Tzaddikim must love Tzaddikim in the future. Shenemar Vayarel Kim Azar Ki Tov. Hashem to the light it was good. Ve'ein Tov El Tzadik. Tov is refers to Tzaddikim. Shenemar Imru Tzadik Ki Tov. Say about Tzadik, he's good. Once the light saw that it was saved for Tzaddikim, the light itself became happy. If it can become happy light, the light of Tzaddikim will become happy. Kitanai. The Gemara actually says it's actually subject to Machalokas at Tanaim when light was created. The Riak says the light wasn't a normal light. The light created on the first day. You could see through things. Say really, it was created on the first day. The low nitluad yom revi, but it wasn't placed in the firmament. It wasn't placed in the sky. The sun and the moon and the star were the light. They weren't placed in the sky until the fourth day. Amar Rav Zushavar Tuvia Amarav Hasar Dvarim Nivra Olam. Hashem was the world was created with 10 things. Hashem used 10 character traits to compose the world. With wisdom, with tuna, with understanding, with das, with knowledge, with koach, with strength, with gara, with rebuke, with gvura, and with might, with sedek, with mishpat, with justice, and adjudicating cases, with mercy, with kindness and with mercy. How do you know? The Pasuk says Hashem created the world with wisdom. He established the skies with understanding, with das. How do you know? With knowledge. The depths of the world were made with the knowledge of Hashem. Hashem prepares mountains b'kocha with his strength. Nezar b'gvura. Hashem clothes himself in mightiness. Begara. How do you know? The pillars of the Shemayim will stop in place. V'yisma will be astounded. Migarasa, the rebuke of Hashem. We'll see what that means in a second. Justice and din those are the foundations of the throne of Hashem. You should remember your mercy, Hashem, and your loving kindness. They were forever. They existed forever. Hashem originally created the world. The world was unfurling like two balls of yarn. Hashem rebuked them and caused them to stop in place. Stopped them. So the pillars of Shamayim will stop. They'll be astounded from his rebuke. Anihu shamarti la'olam die. Shakai stands for I, the one who says to the world, die enough. The same thing happened with the sea. Hashem, it was going and it was expanding. It was going to expand over the entire world, even the lands. 70% of the world is water. Only 30% is land. So, Hashem rebuked it and dry land appears. He rebukes the water and dries out. All the streams of water will become dried out. They argue and say that first the skies were created before the land. And the land was created. First it mentions Shamayim, then Aretz. The land was created first. And afterwards, and afterwards, Shamayim. Shneimar, we almost says Hashem Elokim Eretz Shamayim. It says the word Eretz before Shamayim. If you say the skies were created first, it would be similar to a person building a house. He built the attic before he built the bottom floor. Hashem builds in Shamayim his attic. The Agudoso al Eretz Yisada, his group of people. Hashem is among a group of people. Whether he's a person or not, that you have to decide. Agudoso al Eretz Yisada, he places himself among the people in the land. Amalhem challenges Beis Hillel Dvareichem Adam Osa Sharf Rafe. You make an Adam in V'akach Osa Kisa, and then you make a chair. Shemar Komar Hashem Hashemayim Kisa Aretz Adam Ragla. Hashem dwells in the Shemayim. That's where his throne is, and his ottoman, his footrest, is in this world. V'chamurim come argue on both Beis Hillel and Shammai. Zev Zeh Ka'achas and the Shemayim are created simultaneously. Shemar Af Yadi Yas the Eretz Yemi Tafcha Shemayim. Korani Aleim Yamdu Yachtav. Korani Aleim Yamdu Yachtav. It says Yachtav, they're created together. V'idach Ma Yachtav. Other Beis Hillel and Shammai, what do they do with the word Yachtav? Talmish Dalfim Hadadi. Yachtav just means one was created first, but Yachtav means that they're bound together, that they don't separate from each other. Kashu Kraya Hadadi. Still, it's questionable because the first pasuk in the Torah, Breish Baruch Shemayim V'aretz, says Shemayim V'aretz. And in Tehillim it says what Beis Hillel quoted, but it almost says Hashem Elokim Eretz Shamayim. So which one was first? Amar Reish Lakish Nivru Bara Shamayim V'Achrit Bara Aretz. Originally Hashem created. The truth is like it says in the Torah, Torah Shabbat. First Shamayim, then Aretz. Kshnata not the Aretz V'Achad not the Shamayim. And when Hashem placed it to rest, He placed the Aretz to rest in this world, and then He implanted the Shamayim. My Shamayim. What is the word Shamayim mean? Amar Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina. Sheshamayim, it stands for that there is water. Mazizatana, Eshumayim, he says that it's a place of fire and water. Hashem took fire and water and put it together in Shemayim, Asim Rakia, and he made the Rakia, he made the firmament. Shal Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Akiva, Shmuel asked Rabbi Akiva, Shemahachim V'derach Hamalei Atash Shimash Nachmish Gamzu Chav Beishana. You were a student of Nachmish Gamzu 22 years. Darish Kol Essen Shabbat Torah. He would work on darshaning every S in the Torah. Why it says the word S? What does it come to include? As Shemayim is Aretz, my Adorish, man. What did he do with these words in the first pasuk of the Torah? I'm like Ilu Nemar Shemayim Va'aretz, which said Breish Bara Elokim Shemayim Va'aretz. Hayisi Omer Shemayim Shmuel Shalgash Baruch. I said Shemayim is part of the name of Hashem. Achshav Shnamar Shnemar Es Shemayim Es Aretz Shemayim Shemayim Mam Eretz Aretz Mam. But I know that Shemayim and Eretz are referred to the skies and the land, not to the name, not part of the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So the Gemara continues to base on base. It's Aretz Lamoli. Once we know it says Es Shemayim, we know it's not part of the name of Hashem. So why say Es Aretz? So the Gemara says Lahaktim Shemayim La'aretz. In order, it says the S to show you that Shemayim, to prove that Shemayim came before Aretz. If it was just said as Shemayim V'aretz, so therefore you'd think either they're created together, like the Chum say, or maybe even the Aretz was created first. Aretz Haisa Sovavo. The Gemara Darshans, the pasuk says, the land was Sovavo. Michti b'Shamayim Ischal b'Reisha. Maishna the Kachashav Maisa Aretz. Originally the Torah started, it says the Shemayim was created first. And then it says the Aretz was created. And then it starts talking about the Aretz. The Aretz Haisa Sovavo. It says the land was Sovavo, desolate. Why does it talk about the Aretz first? It should talk about the Shemayim first. Tanandar Yishmael Mashal Melech Bas Radam Shamal Avodav Yishkim Lepischi. It's like a mashal to a king who says to his servants, he says, come to my door early in the morning. Hishkim Mata Nashim Anashim. He finds women and men there. He praises the people. Right? Men get up early, women don't always get up early. So if the men get up early, a woman were there also. So therefore Hashem said the Aretz, you know Hashem created Shemayim Aretz, but the Aretz was something which is more given to laziness. Shemayim, people in Shemayim, we say tzaddikim, they go up Aliyos Shamal Shamayim, Aliyah Shamayim. These people are living in Shamayim. They do things more quickly. They get up early for Vasikin. People in the Aret, they're lazy, they're slow, they're human. It's a problem. They get up too late. So who do you praise first? You praise the people that don't normally come. So the Aretz, also people that are human beings that live in this world, they get talked about first. The Mishnah Be'ach Mishayin Darcha LaHashkem HaHashkem Tanya Rabbi Yossi Omer Oilehem lebrios sharos ve'enan yodos maros. It's terrible for people. They see things and they don't know what they're seeing. Omdos ve'en yodos hamaom ve'en omdos. They stand on. They don't know what they're standing. They think they're seeing. They think they see a bima in back of me, some chairs, some a stender in back of me, a bench with some. That's not exactly what it is. People don't really know what they're seeing. I mean, some people do, some people don't. Um, and people don't know what they're standing on. They think they're standing on tiles over here, but it's not really true. Then it's something totally else, and totally different. Alma, what do people really stand on? Alamudim, they stand on pillars. Shenemar hamargi zarism koma v'amudayit palsun. Shem margi is he frightens the ground and koma and mudayit palsun. He removes the ground and he lets the world be supported by pillars. Amudim alamaya, and pillars supported by water. Shenemar l'rokea aretz alamayim. Hashem sets the land on the water. Mayim al harim, and water is supported by mountains. There's mountains below the mayim. Shnemar al harim yamdu mayim. On mountains, water will stand. Harim beruach, and the mountains stand under the wind, below the wind. Shnemar kinei yotzer harim wa bori ruach. Ruach basar. Hashem creates mountains, and bori ruach creates wind to be underneath them. Ruach basar. Ruach is standing on sorrow, on tempests, on hurricanes. Shenema ruach sorrow says varo ruach sara, ruach the wind of a sahara, of a hurricane. Says varo sara tluya bizro shakash baruch hu, and the hurricanes are standing on the arms of Hashem. Shenema mitachas ros olam. Hashem's hands are underneath the world. Chum yud beis amudim omer. Chum say not this whole order just means the world is standing on 12 pillars. Shnemar Yitzev Gulos Amim Lemispar Bnei Yisrael. This is a pasuk, I think, in Zos Bracha. Yitzev Gulos Amim Hashem sets the boundaries of nations, meaning the land, which has boundaries for different nations. The Mispar Bnei Yisrael, according to the number of the Shvatim, the number of children of Yisrael. Yeshom Zayin Amudim. Some say it's only 7 pillars. Shnemar Chatzam Bnei Shiva. Hashem dug 7 pillars. Rabbi Elazar ben Shamuel Omer Amud Echad. The world stands on one amud, on one beam, on one pillar. Sadik Shmo. Its name is Sadik. Shnemar Sadik. He said Olam Sadik. Is considered the foundation of the world. Amar Rav Yehuda Shnei Rakim Hein. There's 2 skies. Shneimar Hein LaHashem Lokecha Shemaim Shmei Shemaim. It says the Shemaim and Shmei Shemaim. Shemaim above the Shemaim. Shlagish Amar Shiva. Shlagish argues says there are 7 actual skies or different parts of space. Ve'Elohein Vilon Rakia Shchakim Zvul Ma'on Machon Aravos. Vilon is lit a curtain. Rakia firmament. Shchakim is a mill. Zvul is an abode. Zvul is a residence. Simone is an abode. Machon Arsenal. I think it's Arsenal. Translated Arsenal. It's one of the teams in the Premier League. Aravos is wilderness. Vilon Eno Mishamish Klum. The Vilon, which is basically the cutoff point between Earth and space. Ela Nichnas Shachas V'Yotze Arvis. It unfurls itself in the morning. V'Yotze Arvis, and then it covers the sky in the night. It rejuvenates the creation every day. Hashem pulls it like cataract, the Shemayim Yimtachem Ka'ol Hasheves, and stretches it out like an oel, like a tent. Rakia Shabo Chamalon Kavam Mazelos Kvu. And Rakia, the second layer, is where the stars and the sun and the moon and the mazalos and the constellations are. Shenemar Yitin Osam Elokim Barakia Shemayim. Says on the 4th day, Hashem put these things in the Rakia. Shchakim Shabo Rakayim Omdos talking about Tzadikim. This is the 3rd heavens, higher than the constellations and space. They have mills that grind up man, the tzadikim for tzadikim, food for tzadikim. Shneimar v'yitzav shchakim v'mal v'dal t'shmayim pasach v'yem talhem man le'echol. It says he opened up shchakim, he ground out man for the tzadikim. They have what to eat in this world. Zvul shabo Yerushalayim beis hamikdash. The 4th heavens is a place where there's Yerushalayim beis hamikdash, Yerushalayim shalmalach. We saw in Martinus. And the Beis HaMikdash that's going to be rebuilt. Mizbeach Banoi, and there's a Mizbeach there. Michal Asar Gadol Omen Makrelav Korban. Michal, one of the big officers over there, the Malachim, he's Makrav Korbanos. Shnemar Abanav Banisi Beis Vulacha. Michal Neshiftecha Olamim. Hashem says, I built for you this building, in Zvul. We know the Dikr Shemai. How do you know Zvul is called a sky? Hashem, we say to Hashem, look down from the sky, from Zvul, your Kadosh Utveres, and your splendor. We see that Zvul is considered a sky. Ma'on, it's a fifth level of sky. They say praise song to Hashem during the day, and they're silent at they say praise song, sing Shira to Hashem at night. They're silent during the day. Make fun of Yisrael because Yisrael daven to Hashem during the day. Malachim sing His praise at night. Shiro imi. People will speak of Hashem's praises during the day, and at night, Shiro imi, the people that are with Hashem in the heavens, the Malachim, they sing praise to Hashem. And inside His Torah at night, Hashem brings a line of grace, or a string of grace upon him in the day. Hashem will bring grace, chesed, to a person during the day. Because at night He was singing to me, He was learning to you. Anyone who learns Torah in this world, it's comparable to night. Hashem extends for him a thread of chesed, a thread of grace, and Olam Haba Shudom Olam Haba is clear. It's like day. Shira imi. Lila is when they're singing it during the night, learning Torah in this world, which is Dom Lila. Hashem, because of that, will show him clarity in Olam Haba. Amar Levi posting with the Torah, and he was in the middle of learning Torah, and he stops, and starts speaking idle chatter. They feed him coals that are from rosim wood, which is very hot. Even when the fire on the outside extinguishes, it's still burning inside. Hashem rakotfim meluach, the people who jump from the luach, from the luchos, from the Torah, ali siach, in order to siach, to talk. B'shorish Hashem lachmam, they're going to end up eating rasamim. They end up eating their bread will be rasamim. And all the ikri shamayim. How do you know it's called shamayim? Mo and shenemar ishkifu mon kadshacha min hashamayim. We say to Hashem, look down. Mon kadshacha min hashamayim. So you see, it's called shamayim. Machon sheba otzo shalag. Machon is the sixth level. Sheba otzo shalag v'otzo zbarad v'aliyas talim ram aliyas agalim. It's a place where you have storehouses of snow and hail and dews, bad dews, and agalim and bad rains, harsh rains. The chadara shall sufa v'sara. There's hurricanes and Sarah, Sufa and Sarah. Sufa, I guess, would be like a hurricane. Sarah would be, I guess, like a cyclone or something like that, or it would be typhoon. There are three things: typhoon, cyclone, hurricane, and they're all the same thing. They're just different locations in the world. Umara shal kitor, that's saying ish. And there's a cave of Kitor, burning fire, but also saying Ish, and their doors locking these storehouses made of fire. We asked Hashem to open us for His storehouses of good. So you see their storehouses of bad. Hani barakia is hani ba'ara is, and the Gemara says these storehouses are actually on land. David says, Halalu es Hashem in Aretz. We see all these things are in this world. Amar Yehuda. David asked mercy from Hashem and brought them to the land. They shouldn't be in Shammai when you die. You shouldn't have to experience this. You don't want bad Hashem. You shouldn't have in your Shammai bad things. You're a tzaddik Hashem. You want to do the proper thing. You shouldn't have these bad things dwell next to you. We know the Ikr Shammai. How do you know arsenal? This thing, the sixth level, Machon is considered to be Shamayim. You should hear in the Shamayim Machon Shivtecha. It says the place where you dwell is called Machon. So you see Machon is a reference to Shamayim. I hope you enjoyed today's shir. Hopefully we'll get Shmuel back tomorrow. Have a good night, good evening, bye.